Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my kitchen. And a very special hello to little May, because she loves it when I film Lottie on the stove. And so May, here is Lottie on the stove. And don't forget, I haven't turned it on. So she's not hot at all, she's very safe there. Also, can I just say hi to Melanie and Sparrow, because they love to visit my kitchen, which is so nice to think of them here with me and to think of you all here with me. What is it? It's Sunday afternoon. It's actually, according to the clocks, it is now 5:15. But amazingly, we've started daylight saving. So yesterday this would have been 4:15. So I'm very excited about that because I do enjoy it, because as you know, I'm not so good in the night time. So this way I get to use a bit of extra hour of daylight, fingers crossed. And it's been raining all day, and it's sort of dark and grey and cold. So it's been sort of a bit, not bright and sunny all day at all. But it's not night time yet, even though it's 5:15. We've still got a few hours to go. So that's a really good thing for me. Anyway, so welcome to the kitchen and our stove. And you're looking at Lottie, dressed in a bright yellow romper. Now, she's wearing this romper because I've been in a spot of bother with our friend Sue Drinkwater. She hasn't been approving at all of Lottie in navy, or the two little twins for that matter. Sue doesn't like navy, so I promised her I would dress Lottie in something that I knew she would like. And I know she likes yellow, and I know she loves green, but I chose this yellow romper to put Lottie in. And Lottie may be a wee bit cold. I feel a bit cold just looking at her, but I did put some knitted booties on her feet. Hopefully they're keeping her warm. She's wearing a white short-sleeved shirt underneath this yellow romper, and it's part of the set. They came together. It's got a cute little collar on it, and the material is textured. It's sort of got like, I don't know what you would call it, sort of little checks in texture, no colour, just white, and it's got a little mouse that's embroidered as like an applique, but it's on sort of an added extra on top of the collar, so it's separate, and it's very cute. And I've actually had this outfit for so many years that I don't even recognise the name of the brand that it is. It's something starting with M, and it looks maybe Spanish, but I bought this a long time ago. There used to be a really good website, and I think it was in England, but it was so long ago now. But they did have all lovely things, and I used to wait for their sales like I do with everything. And I used to get these lovely things every now and again and just put them away. So it was years. I don't even think I was making reborns, or perhaps I'd just started, but seeing as I've been doing that for 8 years, I mean, this outfit could be 5 years old, probably, at least 5 or 6 years old. Anyway, it's perfect on Lottie. It's a size 3 months, and it's called 60 centimetres. And I'm pretty sure it's Spanish, with a brand that we never hear of anymore, so I think probably they've come and gone in the intervening years. I've also added a white headband to Lottie's little head. It's got an organza white bow on it. Not too big, just the right size for Lottie. I didn't have any yellow accessories, really, not even yellow socks. I looked through my sock drawer, well, Lottie's sock drawer, let's be precise about that. So I looked through Lottie's sock drawer, hoping to find something, and I had mustard socks, and I had every other colour, but not yellow socks. So I think I'm going to keep an eye out in the future for some yellow socks or white socks with a yellow trim, perhaps. That would be alright, because I've got white socks with navy trim, pink trim, light blue trim, maybe even mauve, but not yellow. Anyway, so here she is for Sue Drinkwater, and she has no navy, but look at her beautiful little rabbit. Let me show you her rabbit, because she snuck in a bit of navy. And here she is. I think it's a rabbit. It's one of those sort of nondescript animals, maybe, but the ears are big, so I'm thinking rabbit. And the little dress she's wearing is in I guess it's navy blue felt, and it's got the most gorgeous felt mushroom or toadstool, red with white spots on it, embroidered onto it, in blanket stitch around the edge actually, and then it's got 3 little white flowers on stems around the base of the mushroom, which is the base of the mushroom is white, and the actual crocheted rabbit, we'll call it, is in a sort of a mushroom, light mushroom brown sort of colour. And there are two little black bead eyes and just a little bead nose, but it's not circular, it's sort of elongated black bead. And then the two ears, and that's it, that's her, we'll call it a rabbit, and that's where I've snuck a bit of navy in, so hopefully I'm not in too much strife from Sue, and hopefully May and Melanie have enjoyed being in the kitchen. While I'm here, why don't I tell you about the meeting yesterday, which went really well. It was fabulous. We had a great time, and everything just went smoothly except for a little hiccup with the microphone. Excuse me, we've been having trouble with the microphone, and we just got a whole new setup, and I was using that, and it was fine in the beginning. And then as I went on, I could hear in the background this kind of vroom, 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 vroom in the background. It was really, really annoying. And when I turned the microphone off when I wasn't speaking, it stopped, and I thought, okay, it's just feedback or something. But as the time went on, we couldn't make that vroom, vroom go away. It was just on all the time, even when the microphone was off. So that was really annoying. So we're going to get someone's husband knows about these things, and he's going to have a proper look, although he already has. Hopefully someone's, switched something or altered something, and it will be an easy fix, we're hoping, because it was so annoying. It was like having water torture dripped on your head. I don't know what that's like, but it was really hard to concentrate. So yeah, that was the only really hiccup that we had for the afternoon. I got there early, first thing in the morning. I probably left home about, I'm going to sneeze, I think. I left home at about 9-ish. Yeah, excuse me, here comes a sneeze. Oh. And there it is, sorry about that. The perils of live videoing, hey? Sneezing. Anyway, so yes, I left about 9-ish, and I didn't get home till after 5. So it was quite a long day, but it was great. We all enjoyed it. We had a special guest speaker, one of our members, talk about ball-jointed dolls, and she brought her collection, which was absolutely magnificent. They're beautiful dolls. They're relatively modern, so they've got gorgeous, interesting faces, and they really started off, I think, in Japan and Korea. So they've got those fabulous, almost triangular shaped face where the chin's quite narrow and the eyes are big and the nose is small. Oh, they're just adorable, and all the joints are ball jointed so that they have incredible range of movement. You can pose them anyway. And this girl, her name is Janice, is unbelievable at knitting and sewing, so the outfits on these dolls were amazing. Like, she knits in one ply the finest striped socks you'll ever see, and tiny little cardigans with embroidery on them. Absolutely gorgeous, and quite, what would the word be, excuse me, a bit, I don't know what the word is, but sort of hippie style, not pretty girl style. A lot of lace and vintage fabrics, and just amazing costumes. Just beautiful. Anyway, so that was that. We also had a competition for ball jointed dolls, and I have one, but it's not a very good one. It's just one that I bought. I love it, but the vinyl of the head is a different colour to the body, and I thought, it's probably not good enough to take for a competition. And then I remembered that I actually have a very old doll that is ball jointed, and it's carved out of wood. So I'll show you that in a moment and explain a bit to you about her. And before I do that, let me just show you, this has nothing to do with the doll club now, but this is to do with dolls that I had as a child. These are two dolls, and I promised Susan of Susan KJ88 that I would show these dolls, because she has one, and hers is dressed in a she probably has more than one, I beg your pardon, but she showed one, and it was dressed in a Mongolian costume. And so these are mine. This is one. I've always thought of her as a Chinese girl. She's got a beautiful mohair wig. Can you see the hairstyle there? Sort of coiled plaits at the back, and she's wearing a traditional costume of some description. Now, I always thought it was Chinese because of the little red shoes. And it's in a beautiful satin. It's faded because it's very old. Well, not very old because I'm older than this doll. But probably only like 10 years older than the doll. So the doll would have to be like 55 years old. And she's made of composition with beautiful painted features. And she's just adorable. She's got yellow satin pants on, and then a top with long yellow sleeves and a navy front to it. She's got a little, it's like a cape. Let me turn her around and I'll show you. It's fur lined, and it's for me it's like a very bright pink, dark pink, but in the camera it's looking red. And there's the back of her little tunic, which is blue. You can see the colour is not faded there like it is. Let me just show you the front again. There's the front, very faded there. Probably quite blue under the skirt. Let's have a look. Yeah, still beautiful, bright blue. Look at that. So that's one of my little dolls that I've always thought was Chinese because of the shoes. And then this other one is, I got them together. I think I got them from my grandmother. My mother's mother. So here's the other one, and she's just got two little plaits that come down, and she's got a fringe as well as the other one, which you Americans call bangs for some odd reason. Anyway, we call it a fringe, and there's her little plaits, which you call, what do you call those, braids, do you? Anyway, both their hair is very dark, probably black, I'd say, on both the dolls. And this little one's got a tunic top in faded, I think it used to be green satin, and then a little apron over the top, and then she's got a bright pink front on that tunic. Let me just flip this apron up and you can see that brilliant colour where the sun hasn't reached. And then her trousers, little satin trousers, match the top, but I think they're more like an aqua colour, or were. Let's see if the back's, yeah, there's a bit more colour on the back. There we are. Little braid trim around the ankles, and she's got the same shoes, except hers are pink. Let me show you. Virtually the same. She's got pink ones. So they're my two beautiful composition girls from the 1950s, and absolutely love these dolls. They were missing for a long time. I hadn't taken them when I left home and got married. I didn't take them with me because I actually got married in England. So they stayed back in Perth, Western Australia. And then from England, my husband and I ended up here in Sydney. And the dolls, I didn't have them anymore. I assumed my mum had them. But unfortunately, they went to one of my mother's friends. And luckily, at some point, that friend sent them to me with a note that said, "Oh, I think you collect dolls. Are you interested in these two?" And by then, the elastic that holds them together had perished. So they were just parts, head, body, arms and legs, both of them like that. And I thought, oh, these are my dolls. At last I've got them. So I didn't personally restring them because I can't do it anymore. But I got a friend at the club who does it to do them for me and put them all together and dress them. And I was so happy to have them. That was I probably got them back, I don't know, 10 years ago or something like that. So I was so happy to have them, let me tell you. It's just brilliant because I've always been looking for them. Every doll show or everywhere I went, I was looking to replace them, thinking I'd never have them again. And now I've got my original ones. So I was so happy to have them. They sit in a cabinet now. Sun doesn't get on them, so hopefully nothing more will happen to them. Maybe in 50 years' time their elastic might perish again, but it won't be my problem in 50 years' time. One of my daughters will have them. She loves dolls, and she'll probably keep most of my collection, I should imagine, although she'll need a giant house, won't she? Anyway, so that's the story about those dolls. Let me just think if there's anything else I want to tell you before I show you my very old ball-jointed doll. The ones I told you about are made of resin, the Japanese and Korean ones, and now they're made in China, and they're usually resin. I think there are a few other materials, but they're all modern materials, whereas the one I've got is hand-carved of wood. I'll show you now. I'll just move Lottie out of the way and be right back with you. Here she is. This is my little girl, who is a Schoenhut doll. She's completely wooden. It's all hand carved. Her hair's carved and her limbs are carved and her face and her body all carved, and she's jointed at the head, at the neck, at the shoulders, at the elbows, the wrists, the hips, the knees and the ankles. So she's very, very easy to pose. She's brilliant. These dolls used to be on stands that had kind of nails sticking up that fitted into the bottom of their feet. Their shoes had little holes, special holes in them as well, so that the nails could go up into the foot, and then she could stand on one foot and you could pose them any way you liked, as though they were skating or dancing or running or anything. They were just brilliant. Oh, you still can if you had the stand. I don't have a stand. Actually, I think I may have a stand, but it's not a real one. It's just not an artificial, just a copy. Yeah, that's what I mean to say. I'm sounding a bit rattled because in between Lottie and now I've dropped the camera, so I don't even know what the crazy settings are on that I'm using now. I just hope they're working. I hope you can see her okay. Let me see. Something's changed, hasn't it? Let me see if I can zoom in a bit, so you can see her a bit more. So let me describe her to you first. She was made in around 1912, so she's considered an antique now. But these dolls were very, very sturdily made, and they're not indestructible, but they're pretty solid and good for children to play with, which is what they really were designed for. I have a few in my collection. They come in all sorts of different ages, older looking children, babies, all sorts, some with wigs. I've got a couple with wigs, and the wigs used to be nailed on, and I've got some babies who are just bald, and all sorts of different variations. This company, Schoenhut, from America, also made circus animals and toy pianos and caricatures and all sorts of things. Clowns, all sorts of things. So they were a very big company back in the day. And this is my girl who I put into the competition as a ball-jointed doll, thinking that she's beautiful, but modern ball-jointed dolls are just stunning, and I didn't really think people would like her. She's wearing not an original dress. They're very hard to find. I haven't seen one. And of course, being in Australia, it's even harder. Probably in America, it would be quite easy to find some original outfits. Her shoes aren't original, her socks aren't original, but she's wearing what we call bodysuits now, and they used to call them union suits, and that may be original. That's underneath her dress. It may be an original. What else can I tell you about her? She's got brown eyes, hand-painted eyes, of course, and there used to be hand-painted eyebrows as well, just simple line eyebrows. But although these dolls are very sturdy, the thing that does tend to give up the ghost is the painting, especially on the face. Her face is quite cracked. The paint is quite cracked. Let me see if I can zoom up and see what happens, if you can see. Let's go over to her face. Just go in a bit, and then, I'm not very good at this zooming business. There's her face. I don't know if it's dark. It looks very dark to me through the camera, but hopefully you can still see her face a bit. So she's very beautiful, isn't she? I've got her pose just with her arms slightly bent, and she's holding a tiny teddy. There he is. Isn't he sweet? It's just out of my cabinet. I just picked the right size bear. I'll just put this back down again and zoom back out. Oh, that's the wrong way. That's the wrong way. I always do that. I'm sorry, guys. There she is. Hopefully you can see her well enough. Let me just adjust that a wee bit and go out a bit further. Not too bad. Sorry about all the fiddling. It's been quite tricky to get her set up. Hopefully you can still see her. So guess what? She won first prize. So other people liked her as well. I was so amazed. I just thanked everybody for voting for her. She was the favourite of everybody, even though there were some stunning dolls there, absolutely gorgeous, but this innocent little girl won the first prize. So I'm very proud of her. And I think I'll end it there. And hopefully this camera's worked. Oh my goodness, fingers crossed everybody. It fell straight onto the lens. Oh dear, dear, dear. Anyway, hopefully it's worked. And the other thing I wanted to tell you just before I go is that I have to work 3 nights this week, so I'm not sure when I'll be back on. You probably won't notice anyway, you all got your own lives and lots of videos to watch, but in case it does occur to you that you haven't seen me for a while, it's just that I've been having to work extra this week. We've got other things happening, I've got courses on and presentations to go to, that kind of thing, so I'll be gone 3 nights. And also the other committee that I'm on is probably having its final meeting ever. The council's decided not to have committees anymore, so we'll find out officially if that's the case on Wednesday night. So that makes another night that I have to be out. Anyway, yeah, so there you go. So I think I'll say goodbye. Keep my fingers crossed that this has all worked, and see you all as soon as possible. And in the meantime, hopefully I get time to watch some of your videos, even if I can't make any. So please everyone, take care of yourselves and be kind to each other, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye everyone.